I stopped buying fountain pens about 2 years ago. And here's what actually happened. Uh, about 2 years ago, I was already in that race of buying, fountain pens, and the one that I've just bought hasn't even actually been, let's say, not even, let's say it's shipped out, but hasn't even arrived. And I've started to look at, all right, what's my next pen going to be? And that constant cycle of watching YouTube videos, etc. That really, really kind of got me to the point where I was not really sure on what I'm buying. Do I really want it or not? Is it just that I'm just buying it for the sake of it? Or do I like really want it? Because with a couple of pens, especially with a couple of good gold nib pens, it so happened that I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I went to a shop to try them out. I tried a couple, but even so, when I tried them, I didn't really love them. But because everybody else loved them, and I had watched ton of YouTube videos where everybody was like, "Yeah, these are great. These are Grail pens." I'm like, "Fine, let's buy them. If everybody says so, they are going to be really good, and I'm gonna enjoy them later on." Which, of course, never really happened. So a few such instances happened, and I really thought to myself, like, do I really want this? Do I really want to continue doing what I'm doing? And I took a conscious decision to stop buying, right? And things really changed when I actually stopped buying pens. One is, of course, I started to write more with the ones that I have. I started to experiment with inks more, which I hadn't done uh, for some reason. I don't know why. Years in the hobby, and I hadn't really played around with a lot of inks, as many as I should have. So that venue opened up for me to really try to take the pen and see, like a pen like this 92, take a pen like this and then try maybe a few different inks on it, and see how it feels, how different inks actually uh, react to the actual pen, how does the same ink react to, like, let's say pen number 2, etc., so on and so forth. And I think that was a really really good experience for me to really find out kind of what I like and what I don't like. And now when I look at new fountain pens, my first urge is not to, oh, I should have it. My first urge is, it's beautiful, but that's it. That's where things stop, which is very interesting. So, and one like unexpected observation, if I want to tell you, would be, so I think a few months in, when I had stopped buying new pens, I really started to see what's happening. Like, especially on YouTube, for example, either there are free pen reviews, or there are retailers doing pen videos, which are extremely helpful videos as such. But they also keep us in the race because they have to be in the race of selling. If they don't continuously sell, they don't have a business anymore, right? So I started to look at things a little bit more objectively and started to find people who I resonate with a little bit more. So the kind of YouTubers I started following were way different. These were not your retailers or just pure pen reviewers anymore. These were people who were doing things, and they were journaling. And when I say journaling, I don't mean like the journal where you write stuff. They're talking about those things. They are kind of showing what they are doing. Maybe somebody's learning Spencerian, and they are using fountain pens for cursive writing, right? And I started to follow those kind of people a little bit more. I started to have much deeper conversations than, oh wow, this nib is good or this nib is bad. Much more deeper conversations, much more philosophical conversations, which is the kind of person I am. So this has been really good for me overall. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I 100% do miss the dopamine. I 100% do miss when you place that order, that feeling, oh yes, I'm going to have a new pen. I don't get it with pens anymore for some reason. And I've got tons of pens, so that's fine. So that I need this holy grail. No, that doesn't really work on me anymore. But I do miss that dopamine at times. I do miss, like, the research rabbit hole. So if you like some pen, and then you have to watch all the videos on YouTube that are available, then you have to go to Reddit and ask people what they think about this pen versus this pen. That's a really good research rabbit hole that feels very productive, and at times it is. But I do miss that, right? Is it 100% productive? It's 100% best for us? Of course not. But no, I do like it. There have been limited new releases since I've stopped, but I really like those limited new releases. Like, there are a few colors that I really like. And for example, Eco Tea is one of my favorite pens by Twisby. They've recently just put out, like, I think it's a mocha version, something of that sort. Like, it looks amazing. Brown, like, I like browns. If you've noticed, like, even the ink I'm using here, right? I do like browns, and I really like that new one. For some reason, it just resonates with me really, really well. Do I want to buy it? 100% want to buy it. Am I going to buy it? No, because I have a Twisby Eco Tea, and one has been enough for me for many years now, and probably one will be enough for me for the foreseeable future. I know people say that Twisby Ecos have a lot of problem with cracking and stuff. I've never had that issue. If it does, I'll just go out and buy another one. But that's the whole point. Hoarding versus collecting versus enjoying are two very different things. Because when you get into that rat race of collecting, it's not writing you enjoy anymore, it's collecting that you enjoy anymore. But that's not why I actually got into fountain pens. Because in that rabbit hole, we forget why we actually got into it. Like, what was our why of getting into fountain pens? And I had completely forgotten that. I had forgotten how excited I was when I got my grandfather's fountain pen. I was um, I had forgotten how excited I was when our teacher, back in, like, secondary school, told us that at least one day a week, like, because so before a certain age in our school, you used to write with pencils, and then there used to be, like, a grade, I think grade 5 or something, when you could move to pen. Everybody was excited about gel pen, ball pen, etc., but our teacher said everybody in this class should 100% try fountain pens. And then we used to have those Parker inks and cheap Hero fountain pens, and a rag to clean our hands. But then we are kids, so all our hands are blue by the end of the day. It was an amazing time, right? Was it an amazing time for our parents with the spoiled white school t-shirts and whatnot? No, of course not. But it definitely was for us. But I had forgotten all of those memories completely. And I had discounted all of those memories. I had discounted all of those experiences, which, when I stopped buying new fountain pens, kind of came back to me. And I started enjoying the writing, the experience of holding these pens, the romance with the actual act of writing, taking out a notebook, and working through that. And I'm doing masters in machine learning now, so when I'm doing maths, I like to do it on a notebook, and I like to do it with a fountain pen, most of the times. In fact, my sailor has a documental ink, which, blasphemy, right? A lot of people say this is this is like the worst mistake you can do in the fountain pen history. But come on, it's been working fine for what, a year and a half now. It's had the blue documental, and it's going to have that. And yeah, I clean it regularly. I re-ink it regularly, as you can see on the nib. It's going to show if um, these marks do tend to become permanent, which is fine, which is the sign of my use. That's the whole point. I'm not buying these pens to sell. I'm buying these pens to enjoy them, write with them, cherish them, savor them, and then maybe pass on to somebody else, right? When I'm gone. And maybe they'll do the same. And if I take care of these well enough, then the documental ink is not going to be a big problem for them. Also, whoever the next person is who gets my pens after I'm gone, which hopefully is a long time away. But yeah, so couple of thoughts on kind of this journey. I am inclined towards actively choosing to break this streak, but I don't want to do it prematurely. And I know if it was me 2 years plus ago, I would have done that. I would have prematurely said, all right, I'm breaking this streak. I'll buy whatever the hell good pen is that everybody says is, right? If something doesn't just catch me off guard, I'm not gonna buy it. I've been in that rabbit hole once before. I'm not gonna do it again. So the plan is to maybe actively break this streak, but break it only and only when I see something I feel very, very strongly about, and I feel that that pen has something unique to add to my collection in general, right? For example, I've got two of these. I've got a blue and a black of Custom Heritage 92. I'm not going to go buy another one of 92s. That's stupid at this point to me. 2 years ago, no, that idea wasn't stupid. I was actually contemplating getting one more 92 because I love this so much. And both are these in medium nib, and the third one that I would have gotten would have also been in a medium nib. That's a stupid mistake, in my opinion, right? It's again, this is a very subjective hobby. That's my opinion. Today, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to see if there's a pen that really adds something really, really unique to my collection. If it does and it fits my budget, which is extremely important, I'm not going to extend my budget for a pen. I'm going to decide my budget. If it's there, fine. If something doesn't fit that budget, I'm going to let it go. So few thoughts. Hope you like these thoughts. Would love to know kind of what your take is, because these videos, these kind of talking style off the cuff videos with a couple of bullet points that I might want to talk about are all about me putting my honest thoughts out there, so I can have conversations. Because I think in fountain pen community is the most important thing, and we do tend to miss that. And in that kind of rabbit hole of collecting and buying, we forget that this is all about a community and sharing perspectives. And I've been loving the comments that you guys have been doing. Would love to get your take on this as well. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.